What's going on, y'all? It's Joe from Petty Fixes, and I'm back with another video for you all again. Now, this is going to be a different video because it's going to be the first time I've ever done a phone review. And it's something I've always actually wanted to get into because I love mobile devices. Actually, my first foray into technology was with mobile devices, not computers. So lately I've been looking at things, and I've been looking to see, which phone I like out there the most. And I've lately been an LG fanboy. I like what they do. I like the products they put out, from phones to computers to appliances. They make really good products. And I've always been anxious to get my hands on one of the V series because I used to have a LG V10, and my mind towards videography on telephones or phones in general have just changed. So it changed my mind about how you can use a mobile device to produce video and content and everything. And recently I know the LG V30 came out, and I'm a Sprint customer here in the US. So with that said, Sprint has access to the LG V30 Plus. It's the 128 gigabyte version of the LG V30, and here it goes. I got my hand on one right here. It's really nice. It's very nice. It's an impressive device. I've been having it for the better part of a week now, and I've had a chance to run it through its paces. So what I'm going to do for you all today is I'm going to run through everything. I'm going to show you all how everything works, what everything looks like, give you all my overall impressions of the device, and my verdict. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. At first glance, the LG V30 is a very sleek looking device. Rounded edges, curved glass surfaces, and a metal construction give the LG V30 a premium look and feel. But here's where things start to differ when it comes to the LG V30. Turning on the display, you see the dominant 6-inch screen that LG has placed into this device. Holding the device in hand is a pleasant experience also. There are no sharp edges, no boxy design cues here, anywhere. It's almost like holding a skipping stone in your hand. The curved glass back on the phone is very comfortable to hold and assures you won't be readjusting the device trying to get a better grip on it. The metal size of the device adds to the rigidity of the phone, ensuring that it will last up to the durability of daily use. The front panel glass is as expansive as the back, from top to bottom. The 5 megapixel camera sits up to the top left of the earpiece. The edges flow to the sides to meet the metal chassis of the device, and it's a perfect blend of glass and metal overall. Around back, you have the familiar setup that LG is known for. The dual camera array, along with the laser, phase change detection autofocus, and the appropriately and conveniently placed fingerprint scanner. Along the right side of the device, you have the SIM card SD card tray. Along the bottom, you have the speaker and the USB-C port. Along the left side of the device, you have the volume rockers. Moving to the top of the device, there's the headphone jack. This is also IP68 certified, meaning that it's dust and waterproof up to 1.5 meters for about 30 minutes. The LG V30 comes with a 6-inch POLED capacitive screen. It's rated for 16 million colors. It has an 81.2 screen to body ratio, which is pretty impressive. The resolution sits at 1440 by 2880 pixels, giving it an 18 by 9 aspect ratio. For those who care about pixel density, it's 537 ppi. The display is covered with Gorilla Glass 5. It's also Dolby Vision HDR10 compliant, so you can take advantage of those technologies. The LG V30 is powered by a Snapdragon 835 processor. It's got 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gigs of storage, 128 if you opt for the V30 Plus. The phone itself runs Android 7.1.2 out of the box, with the promise of Android 8.0 Oreo to come. The battery is a 3300 mAh non-removable battery. The OS has been refined, coming from previous generations of LG phones. I was using an LG G5 at the time of this recording, so stepping into a fresh overhaul of the OS is refreshing to say the least. LG has done an amazing job of optimizing the OS to run smoothly. Coming from the V10 and V20, LG had used a dual screen approach. The screen was segmented into the main display, and then there was a little display strip that ran across the top, situated next to the front-facing camera. That is now a thing of the past, which allowed LG to move the main display more closer to the top and bottom of the phone, resulting in an almost bezel-less design, something that's trending now in the phone industry. Instead of the second screen, LG has decided to go to the software route and use a floating bar. It's a software edition of the second screen and functions in much the same way, allowing you to store shortcuts, contacts, control your music players, and add some of LG productivity apps in. Also, this is movable throughout the screen, allowing you to reposition it anywhere on the screen that you want, or if you just don't want to use it, you can simply delete it by dragging it to the top of the screen. You can always re-enable it through the settings. LG has also included themes for the interface. This is a welcome inclusion because it allows you to make changes to the way the OS looks that fits your personal taste. Also, there isn't much to choose from at the moment, but it's always good to have. A cool major change in the way that the OS looks is the lock screen. To me, having an always-on lock screen that shows info at a glance is a useful feature. LG has a total of 9 different lock screen displays to choose from, with the last option being my favorite. It allows you to choose an image, whether it's an included image or one from the gallery, and set a vignette around it and use it as a picture for your lock screen. It's a very attractive software feature and arguably one of the things I like about this phone the most, as silly as it may seem. Going into the display settings, you can adjust the app scaling size, display size of how you want app icons and text to be shown, screen resolutions which you can lower or raise to its maximum, and a whole host of other display options. On the home screen, LG has 3 options for it. Home, which is without an app drawer so all the apps appear on screen. Home and app drawer, which is self-explanatory, and Easy Home, which shows a simple layout with a large font size. I personally use the app drawer version because, for me, I don't like all my apps on the screen at once. All in all, there's a lot to like about the software that LG has included. It's minimal, optimized, and there's hardly any lag, if any, whatsoever when navigating the phone. I encourage you to explore all the features for yourself to get a feel for what LG has done. LG has also touted this phone as an audio powerhouse. Loaded with a quad DAC system, this phone promises to be leagues above any other smartphone in the audio quality category. With the LG V30 Plus, this particular model on the Sprint network, LG has included their Quad Play earbuds. In other regions, you may get the Bang & Olufsen earbuds. Plugging in the earbuds and firing up a song recorded with a higher bitrate, you can immediately tell the differences in sound from something recorded in a lower bitrate. The sound is extremely crisp, and I can hear sounds that were previously unnoticed. I tested the audio quality using the included earbuds and a pair of V30 crossfade M100 over-the-ear headphones. Using the M100s, the sound is much more pronounced. The bass is more punchy and boomy, the mids are fulfilling, and the highs are crisp and satisfying. There are tons of presets also, and granular controls when the headphones are plugged in, so you can tune to your heart's content. Weirdly enough, I found that all these features only work with the LG's included music player, so there's no extra functions in streaming media players like Pandora, Spotify, or anything like that. Now here's what the LG V30 is all about: content creation and photography. LG has implemented their usual dual camera setup around back and a single 5 megapixel camera up front. Let's get down to business with the dual camera setup. LG has went with the 16 megapixel and a 13 megapixel combo around back. The 16 megapixel has an f-stop of 1.6, OIS, 3-axis, laser, and phase detection, and a 13 megapixel is a wide-angle lens with an f-stop of 1.9. There's an LED flash around back to top everything off. LG has touted that this device is a content creator's dream, able to stand up to a lot of point-and-shoot cameras and potentially replace them when it comes to shooting video and pictures on the go. Going through the software, LG has included tons of different shooting modes, 15 in total to be exact, but there's a few that stand out the most. Giving content creators what they desire, LG has included a cine video mode. This mode allows you to tap the object you want to focus on and do a slow type of zoom, which is a cinematic zoom, while keeping clarity in check. It's a pretty impressive software trick, and LG has implemented it brilliantly. They've kept the manual photo and video modes from the previous V series of LG phones also, but they added in a few little things to complete the experience. In video mode, they've included hi-fi audio controls, allowing you to control the gain, LCF, and LMT features, allowing you to fine-tune your audio. There's also a wind noise filter too. In manual photo mode, they have included Graphy, a sort of filter-related type of feature that lets you choose a template and roll with it. Let's take a look at some sample video and sample photos and let you guys be the judge. Now moving on to the front camera, it's definitely not the best I've seen from LG. Honestly, the camera is noticeably smaller than that on the LG G5 that I came from, meaning that it lets in less light, resulting in grainy photos. Not to mention, LG uses a lot of processing while taking a photo. Seeing as there's hardly any bezel at the top of the phone to begin with, I can see why they went with a smaller camera. When it comes to battery life, this is arguably the best phone I've owned when it comes to lasting on a charge throughout the day. I regularly get 5 hours plus of screen on time, a feat that would be a miracle with the LG G5. Pulling an 8-hour shift at work, listening to music on full blast uses only around 15% of my battery. My LG G5 will be begging for a charge around that time. During this first week, I've not had to charge it until bedtime, usually lasting from about 6:30 a.m. until about 11 p.m. off the charger with usually around 15 to 20% to spare. I haven't done an official rundown test using the looping video and benchmarking, but I'll be putting through its paces here pretty soon with a follow-up video. Well guys, that does it for my LG V30 Plus review. As you all can see, the phone is very nice, it's very snappy, it's very stylish also. The all black on this particular phone that Sprint carries, it's the only model that Sprint carries, the V30 Plus. It doesn't come in any other colors. The all black is definitely a sexy, sleek, minimalistic, business first looking phone. Now, I like the phone a whole lot. Like I said, I'm an LG fanboy, and LG has definitely knocked it out the park with this phone. There's not anything I found wrong with this phone whatsoever, except for one thing, and that will have to be the front camera. Now, the front camera is a 5 megapixel camera. Now, you know, run-of-the-mill phone nowadays is going to have between 5 and 8 megapixel front-facing camera. But the fact that the bezels on this phone are extremely small, they had to put a smaller camera in there, and with that smaller camera, what has happened is it doesn't let in as much light and the photos actually become grainy. And I've used other photo apps just to see if it was LG's, you know, camera software, but it's actually just a fault with the camera. It's not big enough to let in a lot of light, so it is what it is. But other than that, guys, the phone is snappy, the phone is nice. LG's definitely knocked it out of the park with this one. So that concludes my review of the LG V30. If you guys like what I'm doing on my channel, please drop me a like, subscribe to my channel, share this video because it helps me bring you out more content, and I'll see you all in the next one.